What's up everyone? We have a new rogue tech and this tech is so good, it is essentially doubling your damage. And I've been playing this on stream today and I've cleared pit 92 with around 5 minutes spare. And with a few more optimizations, we will be easily reaching tier 100 with Dance of Knives. And what makes this tech so good is the methodical Dance of Knives upgrade. This makes Dance of Knife a grenade skill and it also allows it to benefit from all stun grenade affixes and aspects. So what does that mean? We will use 2 new aspects on our rings. There are 4 grenade aspects they can use. They all do the same. We don't really care about the effect, what they actually do in terms of stun grenades, because stun grenades don't really do any damage. We only use it to get the increase to our stun grenade damage, which then in turn increases our Dance of Knife damage. So what does it mean? Instead of Aspect of Retribution and Clandestine aspect, we put 2 of those aspects on our rings. So here I have the Artful Initiative aspect and the Trickster's aspect. And what that also means is in the skill tree, we do change Dance of Knives from Disciplined to Methodical. Again, this gives this Dance of Knives the grenade and stun grenade attack, and therefore allows us to scale the Dance of Knives damage through any aspect, skill, or other effect that increases grenade or stun grenade damage. In our Paragon, we have a slight change too. We swap out the Headhunter Glyph that was previously on Cheap Shot for Explosive. Explosive gives us a massive damage to stun grenades, 1300% additive damage and another 28.4%. My Glyph is level 94 here, with a level 30 Glyph it's around 30% I think. So a massive boost to our stun grenade damage, which is then all fed into Dance of Knives. So what does it mean? Essentially, it allows us to go around 5 to 10 tiers higher, depending on how we do it. That makes Dance of Knives really, really good. So it is not only a really good speed farm build now, but it's also a very, very good build to get your glyphs to level 100, because as soon as you can push into the 96 range, you have a good chance to get your glyph to level 100. We also have a new item. Shroud of False Death is now available in the game, and the ideal GA that you want to have is all stats here, with max life being the second best. When I crafted it on stream, I got extremely lucky and got both greater affixes on all stats and on maximum life. Ideally, I would want to masterwork it fully on all stats, but I do not have enough Opticite right now to do that. But we'll do it at some point later. Yeah, Shroud of False Death is amazing. It's such a great item. Like, the alt stats are great. And this is like 400 dexterity just from the item itself. And all the other alt stats do help you with armor. They do help you with reaching the all resist requirements and all the breakpoints in the Paragon. And what's also great is it's great defensively with big maximum life boosts. And the most important thing about this thing and why it is so good is the +1 to all passives though. This increases our ranks to Weapon Mastery, our Exploit ranks, our Malice ranks. It gives +1 to every single passive, which is a huge, huge damage boost. We also get more damage reduction, more healing, more damage reduction against dot effects. All of these other passives that boost our damage, they all get improved by it. It also boosts our alchemical advantage up, so we get more attack speed whenever we start stacking. We don't really care about the damage on next attack after entering stealth, because that is not as great for our build, because it only applies to the first hit when we start the Dance of Knives channel. So not super good, not super important, but still okay. It doesn't hurt to have it, like the initial hit being quite good, but it doesn't apply to the whole duration of the channel. So what's also new, Preparation now resets the entire stacks of Dance of Knives, which is great. Like, whenever you're spinning, you will be able to do the full spin to win all the time. Like, you can basically start spinning in a big map in a pit. You just start spinning and you spin all the time until you reach the boss room, and it's just great. Like, whenever you proc Preparation through the back Yom room word, Yom casts invokes Druid Petrify, which is a Druid ultimate, and that gives you a lot of damage through the No Witnesses Paragon node, and it also procs Preparation, which then in turn resets all your Dance of Knives charges. Fits the build perfectly and allows us to finally do the infinite spin to win that we all wanted to do. You are able to do small corridors more efficiently with this. You can even like linger a little bit in place, because at some point, if you keep moving a little bit more, you will have all the resources you need to keep your infinite spin to win up. One other small change that we made is we moved Frostbitten to the boots, and we equipped Tybalt's Will now for the damage reduction while unstoppable, which happens very often through Stone Vigor and Concealment. And what also is good on Tybalt's Will, it also gives you max life and all stats. The 20% damage bonus is very, very good and even retains for 5 seconds after being unstoppable. And you're basically unstoppable every 5 seconds through Stone Vigor, so this buff is up all the time. In the skill tree, we have entirely dropped Poison Imbuement, but we still use the Alchemical Advantage passive. We get this passive through tempering a lucky hit chance to deal poison damage on our dagger. This counts as poison damage and thus can stack up Alchemical Advantage. So now we stack up Ashy Arrows and Momentum with Blade Shift at the beginning of the pit or of our run. We'll also get the poison proc here to get our Alchemical Advantage rolling. And in order to use that efficiently, we do need a high chance of Dance of Knives to deal double damage on our crossbow. So with a high chance, I mean around 90% plus. So when you have a crossbow that rolled at least 46% Dance of Knives damage before upgrades, and you masterwork it at least 2 times on that particular affix, you will have the required 90% plus that we need to make that worth. We pick up Cold Imbuement as well, but we only use Cold Imbuement when we're actually pushing. So I have it just spec because I'm lazy. If you are speed farming, for example, you can put the points in, you can put point in Agile and Invasive just to have a little bit more speed to do. You could also put it in Dash. These 3 points are basically flex points. I just keep them there because I'm lazy and don't want to keep respeccing the things. The most important thing when speed farming is having Shadow Imbuement and Dash. We only use Dash to, cover some distance when we're maybe going into a dead end in the pit and we have to go somewhere, or when we know the portal is up and we gonna change the floor, then we're gonna dash into it, or when we are like trying to get into the boss room faster. Because we have to be careful, Dash can consume the Cloaks buff from the Yaxquax Rune Word. So hitting something with Dash will consume that, so only use Dash if you really have to cover distance that you otherwise could not. Shadow Imbuement is there to just clear all the enemies and clear all the small enemies, so we can have more of our knives hitting the elites, and that will improve our damage, and also to 12% does certainly help. Cold Imbuement is mostly used when we are going to push into the pit, where we then freeze the enemies and benefit from the frozen bonus. And it's also better against staggered bosses, or when you're like doing Tormented Bosses, for example, just use Cold Imbuement. And for everything else, you can use Shadow Imbuement, and that improves your clear time. All of these changes in the planner, and in that planner you can find all of the variants, you can find all of the information that you may be looking for, and I will also update the written guides. Maybe they are already updated. Go on the maxroll page and refresh them. You'll probably see changes. If not, I'll at least put a disclaimer there. And yeah, this is the new rogue tech. This is amazing. It's very, very strong. It allows us to get our pit a little bit higher. It allows us to get our glyphs up. And yeah, so we still use the ultimate damage, even though we are not using Shadow Clone anymore, because Druid Petrify is an ultimate that procs no witnesses. So we want no witnesses to have the 450% ultimate damage to get the 45% multiplicative damage from it. On no witnesses, we gain a lot of ultimate damage here. I have the rune words in my weapon now because my devious glyph is very high, and I want to get the 120 dex here in my armor instead of the 144% crit damage. 144% crit damage just goes into the additive bucket, whereas when there's all the other additives like stun grenade damage with this like 1300% here, and all the other additives, like if you look into my additive pool here, there's like 1200 all damage here, 500 vulnerable damage, 300 crit strike damage, and all the stun grenade damage that is not even displayed here. Damage against elites, damage against crowd load, all of that is like a huge bucket with like around 4,000 to 5,000% additives, and the 144% critical strike damage are really not gonna make a dent. So we are using dexterity instead. But in order to only have 2 ultimate damage gems, your devious glyph needs to be at least 90%, so you get all the ultimate bonuses here that are buffed by devious. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to see more videos like this or more content from me, then make sure to check me out on twitch.tv/mippy. Keep spin to win and have a good one.